Good morning. My name is Bob Slauson, and I'm here with Amanda O'Bannon to interview and speak with Apple Bartlett a little bit about her history in Islesboro. She's the daughter of the renowned designer Sister Parrish, and she's been coming here since her early childhood. So we're going to get her, and she's also an author and a shopkeeper and an artist herself. So she has some interesting background and some interesting history on Islesboro, which she's going to share with us today. So let's start off. Apple, maybe just to start with a general question, tell us a little bit about your early memories of Islesboro and your times here.
Well, I think the first thing I remember that brings memories back to me is a photograph that was taken outside, which was then Evan Randlett's ice cream, now Billy Warren's. And there's a picture of my father in uniform, Navy in uniform, and myself, my sister, and I think my brother, and another young lady, I can't remember who she was, but that was in 1945, and that's my clearest memory, because that's the year they bought a house on Babbage Road. But before that, my grandmother and grandfather came here. I think maybe they were some of the first people summer people who did come here, and they owned a big house which was right here. And I remember as a kid thinking, oh my goodness, they must have been, very happily. I was going to say monetarily sufficient.
Well off.
Well off.
Yeah.
Yes, because they had a dock on one side of their house and another on the other side of the house, which I thought was absolutely amazing for anybody to have that. Even though I was really little, but it did sort of get into my brain. So I remember that house up there. It was brown shingle and it was red trim. And as you know, my mother would not live in a house with brown shingle and red trim for very long. So she painted it yellow. But I have pictures of the dog show, which actually I started when I was 10 years old. Would that be about the same time?
That'd be in the 40s then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And I have photographs of ladies sitting on the side of the little hill in tweed suits, older ladies. I mean, so completely different from now. So that dog show's been going on.
That might be one of the longest running events in Islesboro.
It might be.
Wow.
The one that's lived to remember.
Started by your mom.
No, it was definitely started by me.
Wow.
And that is a thing that I'm quite adamant about. She did say, you've got to do something this summer.
That's fabulous. And how old were you? About 12?
No, if I was born in 34,
Oh, you
and
were.
at 45,
Oh,
was when we
you were
bought the
9.
house.
Yeah.
You were 9.
I think I was 10.
Yeah.
I think I was 10. So the dog show was a long-running thing. And the dog show has always, I think, been part of Dark Harbor. We've always given money to things on the island. I mean, I remember one year we gave money for the gutters at Christ Church. I think I was probably inspired by my father, who maybe was a trustee. And we
His mind was in the gutter?
His mind was in the gutter. Well, my father was very pure. He was, no, he wasn't very pure.
No.
He was normal, let's put it that way, a normal man.
That's Harry.
And he had a wife who was really quite powerful, let's put it that way. So what was I saying?
You were talking about sometime.
And we gave the font, the baptismal font at the church. And then recently, and then we gave it to Save the Children Federation, because I was a kid. And I can't remember what was going on in the world then.
Did you get a say in where the money went?
Not then. No. But when I did, I gave it to, it was for, to pay bills for rabies shots for people who had dogs on the island.
Great.
And since then, someone else has taken that over. I give it to the Privet Riding Club, which is a great thing. Actually, one of my memories was when I think I was 16, I was supposed to really be getting interested in boys. that I was still in love with my horse. Then I didn't have a horse, but I would make in the woods with my cousin Lilius,
Lilius.
Lilius Outerbridge.
Yeah.
We made a series it was a stable right on the point of Derby Road and Babbage Road. And we cleared it out, we made jumps, we made pretend bridles and hung them from trees, and we would go around and we would jump the jumps. My mother would say, "Stop doing that! You're not supposed to be a horse at age 16. So, my childhood on Dark Harbor, really basically, I was an animal lover, and I still am.
Now, you mentioned your parents' home was built in 45, was it?
No, that's when I first came here.
When you first came
Oh, no,
here?
Babbage.
Oh, okay.
That's an old house.
All right.
Captain Babbage.
So you
they
don't
go
have
there.
memories before you were 10 or 11 of
No,
coming to
not
Islesboro
really.
then? Okay.
Not really.
And what?
I have memories more when we lived in New Jersey. So I can't really.
Remember Islesboro?
I remember renting houses.
So you didn't always stay in the same house
No.
each summer?
No,
Sometimes
not
it'd
before
be
they
different.
No. When
And
they bought that house, then it was every summer, definitely.
Uh-huh.
My grandma and grandfather.
They were here before, though.
Oh, way before.
Yeah.
now when
Would you have stayed with them then sometimes, that you remember?
I'm not even sure they were still alive.
Uh-huh.
No, because I think my grandfather died around Pearl Harbor.
All right.
So I don't think we ever stayed with them.
All right.
But this house was standing and rented to different people for a long time.
And were some of the people, I know we're not supposed to go too far away from Islesboro, but were some of the people in New Jersey some of the same people who came up here?
Because yes,
Like, do you
knew
remember?
each other. Yeah,
Because they knew each other. Was that in Far Hills?
yeah.
Yeah. So it would be my family. I mean, it would be a
Yeah,
number
exactly.
of people who all wintered.
Yeah. In New York,
New York and New
or
Jersey.
in New Jersey.
Yeah, and then would come up here. And would they live close together up here?
Or did they stay at the hotel?
Before they built a house?
Yeah.
Yes, well, I remember going to the hotel.
Ah.
I remember going to, it's the first and probably, no, one other time in my life I've sat on a bar stool.
Uh-huh.
The first time was in the Dark Harbor Inn. And they had the most wonderful, I was pretty young. Maybe I was just getting over my horse stage. But I remember sitting on that bar. I remember staying there. Now you're bringing it back to me.
Mhm.
We did stay there because I remember all the beds. And everybody, summer houses all have inn beds and bureaus. If you walk around this house, there's something from the inn. And I remember going to the dances in the ballroom. And Thursday night was the night that it was maid's day off. So there was a dance for maids, whatever, and summer kids. We always went to the maids' dance.
Wow, in the ballroom.
In the ballroom.
At the
the inn.
Islesboro Inn
Inn, the
above
big
the Dark
inn,
Harbor Pool.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and that I do remember that was very good fun. That was fun because it wasn't oh you've got to be all dressed up, and it was just a normal fun.
Do you remember swimming in the Dark Harbor Pool?
I do.
And tell
I'm so
us.
glad you tell it. Yeah.
Tell us.
I remember going down the big steep steps. I remember jumping off the floats, and I remember there was a little dock further on, which I was kind of scared to swim to, but everybody else did. No, that was a highlight.
Do you remember
was
a slide? Do you remember there being a slide?
Not really, but I'm sure there was.
I remember seeing a picture of a slide.
slide.
Looked like it would be fun
Yeah.
for a kid to go sliding and right
I
off
wasn't
into
very adventurous, so maybe
No?
I didn't go on the slide.
Except if you were a horse.
Yeah, and we did have two horses. We had Kangaroo and Blue. Kangaroo used to winter in Camden, and he would pull the sleigh, Santa Claus's sleigh, down the main street. Elm Street, is it?
Wow.
Um,
They told you he did that. You never saw it.
No, but I could have.
Why? Because you came
I mean,
out
I was
in the
old.
win-
I was old enough by then.
But did you guys come up in the winter time?
Later on, we did. My mother, she bought the the red house on the main road. And
Right.
she used to come up. We did have Christmas.
And when you
Yeah,
say the
quite
red
long time.
house, it's on the corner of Babbage
Babbage.
and Pendleton
Yeah.
Point Road on the south side?
It's because she owned the house across the street.
Yes, with the
That's where
orchard.
and the orchard, those apple trees, right across from my shop.
Yes.
She and Daddy planted those trees, which they bought at Macy's in New York. They brought them up and planted them.
Wow.
Wow. No, so is
And
that
I remember
where she
Mrs. Hale. My God, Mrs. Hale
lived right on the
Oh,
corner?
she did. And she and my father retired up into the house across the street because he had emphysema, and he used to spend his winters here.
Wow.
And I don't know if I should tell the story, but I'm going to. My mother was so strong that she felt no reason why she couldn't corner my father's boss at Low Roads, Carl M. Low Roads, Wall Street, why she couldn't corner the owner, Mr. Loeb, and say, my husband deserves a pension, so you've got to give it to him. It's my recollection that maybe you didn't get pensions in those days. So anyway, I guess he got a pension.
It's fabulous, which
I know,
enabled
but
him.
so my mother was she was ahead of her time, being a woman and telling men what they should do.
But that enabled him to then come up
Come
and
up
stay
here,
there.
here, yeah, because that was, you know, I don't know how many years my mother had been in business, but it was, so Mrs. Hale was everybody's favorite. And I remember her telling me, you know, all the old stories you hear about Mr. Hale and his who was he worked for, getting the call, you've got to go pick up Mrs. Swan
Oh, yeah.
and take her to Mrs. Bird's. And then there was another Bird lady.
Crane.
Mrs. Crane.
Nene Crane.
Mrs. Crane. Was it Nene?
Well,
No, she wasn't here
well,
then.
it could have been a different Crane.
Yeah, oh, Cornelius is probably married to a different person.
Yeah.
Same family.
Yeah, same family.
Yeah. And he got so befuddled. You have the story, I'm sure. I'm sure you do.
He rode a horse, right? He rode a
Oh, it
horse
was a
and
carriage. Yeah.
And he went to go
Very
pick up.
slowly, go down the road now. I've got to go get Mrs. Swan, take her to Mrs. Bird's, and then, oh my goodness, was it Mrs. Crane? Or do I pick up Mrs. Crane first and then go to Mrs. Swan's? But,
Who's on first?
but you must have that story written down. It's so funny. And there's a record of it, by the way, that Mrs.
Yes.
Hale's daughter has. And I think she's not given it up.
Huh.
And it's
The
Mrs.
original,
Hale
Mrs.
recounting the story.
Yes.
And was she a friend? A friend?
Yeah, she was a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wonderful.
And she was a really good friend. I remember once I was walking into a field and I was picking blueberries. And this voice came in, don't you dare take my blueberries. And then she saw it was me. She said, oh, Apple, take all my blueberries. I was petrified. Petrified.
Yeah. I remember she
Oh,
could
she
be
was so
petrified.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
her
And she did the
chocolate-
laundry.
Yes.
She did
And she
everybody's
said,
laundry.
I don't give a good goddamn if I get Mr. Parrish's underwear mixed up with Mr. Dillon's. I really don't care.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
With those wonderful sinks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, you know, it's so funny, it's such a blur, because I was so little when she was so, almost formidable is a good
Formidable,
word.
formidable.
But
Right.
did she have the laundry right behind the house?
That was my shop.
Oh, your shop
That was
her
the laundry.
That was her laundry.
Oh, okay.
I see.
And there used to be a water pipe from her house to the shop, but when they paved Babbage Road, they wouldn't allow a water pipe to go underneath.
Oh.
So I have no water.
Hmm.
But the town, I don't know. But that was definitely, and all the laundry, all that stuff was out in the, drying in the back. I remember a wringer. She had
Yeah.
a wringer to wring
Squeeze it
Yeah,
out.
squeeze it out. And she had the most beautiful wicker armchair, kind of like that one over there, from very high back, but beautiful wicker. And I think she sold that, I always want, Mommy always want. No, she wouldn't sell it. But I think it's now at the Mitchell House.
At the Mitchell House, which became the Islesboro Inn.
Right.
So you mean
I
it
remember
is-
that. That was
Wow.
a bar. My kids loved that bar. at the
So
Mitchell.
by the time it was, well, wait, are you talking about the Mitchell House before it became the inn, the new inn? The Mitchell
Yeah,
House on West
yeah,
Shore
yeah, it
Drive?
was Before Kirsty.
Yeah, before
yeah.
Kirsty.
Was Kirsty right after the inn?
Well, Kirsty came a few years after the inn
After the inn.
closed, just a few years. But the inn was open from like 58 to
Do you remember
83. No, of course I remember it.
Yeah,
That's what I remember.
yeah, as the inn.
As the inn.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what happened when the old inn over Dark Harbor closed. What happened when that happened? What happened to you and where would you go?
Oh, no, I think probably that, I don't know when the inn closed, but it's probably when we bought the house.
It closed around, it closed in sort of the mid-50s. And then the new inn opened
Yeah.
in 58.
Yeah. And the Philabella
You-
was,
You mentioned the inn and some of the activities there. How about the Tarotine Club? What role did that play in your social lives as children growing up on the island?
well, it meant you had to learn how to sail. It meant you had to learn how to play tennis,
Mm-hmm.
to dress correctly, to interact. This was all it's not my cup of tea, but that's what one did.
Mm-hmm.
The golf course, I do remember, had one great thing. We all played capture the flag, and the road was the
The boundary.
Yeah. Oh, and we played sardines in the Mitchell house. I remember
Ah,
hiding in closets. So
In the
that must
Mitchell
have been
house.
before the inn.
Yep, wonderful. And what about the scavenger hunt? Where did that happen?
All over the place.
But I
I don't
mean, who
remember.
ran it? The Tarotine?
I don't remember. Capture the flag was spontaneous.
Yeah, that's in the Mitchell House.
But I don't know. That period of my life, I don't think I really loved the island. It's Tarantine activities. I've always liked the nature of Islesboro. Always. I mean, my dream is to pick all the driftwood up from which all collects in the cove here, and I want to build a fence around the white garden that my mother started, which was beautiful, but now it's kind of, I call it God's garden. Everything that comes up on Islesboro comes up in that garden with a few accents of phlox and other white flowers. But I would love to show you, but you can't probably do that. There was my grandma and grandfather had a garden out here and it had a cedar hedge. The cedar hedge has never been cut. So now the trees are going like this, meeting each other. And there's a little tiny alcove in one spot that I've made into, I call it my cathedral. And the little tiny room is my confessional. And I've got to put a cross in it. But that to me is my God. And it's all Dark Harbor, I have to say. That's why I like to be there in the winter, because my friends, I don't have, any family here except for Christmas, but I'm all by myself down here. I feel perfectly comfortable. I have my birds, and my ducks now come up. I say, ducky, ducky, duckies. And the duckies come up, and they come into the feeder, and then my dog chases them away. And
Have you been wintering here since this house was
yeah,
built?
that's
then?
what, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which was 1998, you said?
1998,
Yeah.
yeah. But I love,
That's 25 years. That's
yeah.
a lot of time
yeah.
here year round.
But the nature is what
the nature, I mean, it
connects to
sounds
you.
kind of weird, but nature to me, I mean, God is nature, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I certainly, I go to church, but, in the summer months, and then, it sounds corny, but nature on this island, it means everything to me.
Mm.
And I think I understand it, and maybe it understands me.
Mm.
But there's so many things going on, little tiny things. I mean, I'm a weird person. When my husband asked my father for my hand in marriage, he said, "Would you realize that my daughter feels sorry for tires because they go round and round on each on it?" Do you really want to marry her? But
Oh my God,
I
that's
do
so
feel,
funny.
I do, and my mother and I were snooping outside the door.
And you both burst into laughter. Now I
I know,
have,
but it's corny to say that nature really means a lot to you. I mean, what does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, it's a comfort to me.
it's
it's
you're not
something-
alone.
You're not alone.
No.
You see the
It's an
caterpillar
anchor.
crossing the road.
Yeah.
And how many stripes does it have?
No, I love
That's the
that.
way the winter is going to be, says Andrew Coombs. Count the stripes on its back.
Oh, I love that. I
Um,
love that.
but this year there's only one stripe, so I don't know.
Well, you know, and your love of games is to me very telling about who you are. You loved all the active games, but what I think
I
is-
didn't love the house. I mean, I didn't love
No.
the sailing and the.
No, you didn't love the,
No.
but you loved like Capture the Flag.
Yeah, that was.
But let me ask you about the fancy dress ball, which I remember so well.
Oh my God.
And I wonder, what is your relationship with that activity?
That activity is, I'm going to get slaughtered by saying this, is really the main reason I'm a member of the Tarantine Club. I love the fancy dress party. And everybody in the Tarantine Club, they become far more natural when they're acting out something. I remember going with Francie Train, we went as bike riders. We had this I had this insane idea. I wanted to ride a motorbike and be a biker. So I called Francie Train. She said, "Of course we're going to do that." So we got David Hathaway's motorcycle and Henry,
And Jessica Rollerson?
no, on East Airport Road.
Oh,
He
airport.
just died.
Oh,
Higginson.
Higginson.
Yeah.
Oh, John
His,
Higginson.
yeah. So Francie rode. We had lessons. But we rode in.
You were biker chicks.
We were biker chicks, exactly.
Oh my
And so
God.
we went around the Tarantine by the kitchen, the club at the golf course, on our motorcycle bikes, and planted ourselves in front of the whole Tarantine group. And we were so old that we couldn't get off the bicycles, so we had to have assistance for getting off.
Wait, when
But
was this?
Francie,
Oh, my-
not, maybe 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
But we had, Francie got somehow handcuffs. She had them dangling from her belt. I had a T-shirt that was white, and it had a painted, T-shirt, prints of
Yeah.
a bra and a diamond in my belly button, and it was and I got Toby found me biker boots. But that's what's good about it. That fancy
Yeah.
dress brings
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
people who might be into them. Not that Francie or myself, maybe we're not really that into ourselves.
No, I know what you mean.
But I can make a fool of myself with a fancy dress very happily.
But,
And other people, there used to be
Yeah.
scenes. People
Yeah.
do plays.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And the rock-
Totally.
Yeah.
In fact, you just said something that really surprised me. Is the Tarantine fancy dress party now at the golf course?
Yeah.
So it
Was at the
used to
yacht
be
club.
at the yacht club.
That yacht club.
Okay, and that's when I remember.
Yeah.
There would be scenes.
Oh, and your grandmother and my mother
And-
and in the ballroom.
Yeah, in
They
the
moved
ballroom.
to the ballroom.
It
They did
moved-
their lighthouse skit, the murder in the lighthouse, and they walk around and around the lighthouse. Remember up the stairs? then they come down the stairs. It took hours for them to come down the stairs and then go up again to get another clue. It went on
And do you
on.
remember what the scene was? Do you remember what they were acting out?
I think it was a murder up there.
There was a murder.
I think so.
I see. Okay.
I'm not sure we ever knew, but it did go on. for
So
a
it
long
was
time.
my grandmother Ibby,
And
Holmquist,
Aunt Ellie
and
Choate.
Aunt Ellie Choate, and then your
My
mom.
mother. Yeah.
Oh my lord.
But it was at the yacht club before that, and I remember, this is really like going to see my psychiatrist, but I remember once driving to the yacht club, and I'd taken my underskirt from my wedding dress, and I'd pinned Queen Anne's lace on it.
Wow. Real Queen Anne's
Real
lace.
Queen Anne's lace.
Wow.
So I went as, lace, whatever it was. But I remember driving right by Alex Babbage's house, right there in Babbage Road, saying,
Yep.
I'm happy.
No.
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. Almost like what you were talking about in nature, that you said something interesting when you said that acting and doing something outside of oneself, like pretending to be something different,
yeah,
made
yeah.
all those false things disappear and
Right.
people became natural.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know what real actors and actresses feel, but I think it's a way of getting out of yourself, or out of your environment, or out of your
Yeah.
what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Dark Harbor, I mean, I can't emphasize how much that means to me. I love my buddies. I love my Zoom class, and everybody there is my best friend. I don't feel alone. I just, Tuesday and Thursday, I don't do Saturday. You go to Zoom class and you hear all these funny stories, and people tell when you're doing the plank, and they start telling these jokes about, more or less why the chicken crossed the road, but a little more sophisticated.
Yeah, they're really Jessica Rollerson tells a whole bunch.
She does, and she reads the
Father, dad
John.
jokes.
Yeah, he has a calendar he's given every year that has jokes on it for every month, and she reads those jokes. I think that's where they come in.
Yeah.
But Marnie must have a book.
Marnie must have a book.
But if you're ever in trouble, and I actually got a phone call after I fell, and Joanna said, if you ever, and everybody in class said, if you ever need anybody in the middle of the night, just call one of us in Zoom
Yes.
class and we'll be over.
Oh.
Now that is
Yes,
a happy, safe,
yes,
Family.
yeah.
yeah. And that is not
You don't-
Tarantine. That's
not talent.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
just island
Yeah,
people.
it's people, it's
Yeah.
real people. And
Yeah.
When you were growing up, you had the Tarantine Club activities, and you had mentioned some of the things at the hotel. What were the interactions with the year-round folks? Did you have much, play with any of the kids that were year-round
No,
folks?
Doria Engstrom is a really good friend of mine, and
Yeah.
she tells me, she said, Doria, we were forbidden to talk to summer people.
Wow.
And she said she's so interesting though, because she came from,
Wow.
what's the big mill town?
Oh,
Millinocket?
Millinocket.
And her father, who wouldn't have been a grandfather, was the guy, the big deal at the inn. He was hired to be at the inn to run
I
everything.
didn't know that.
So she came as basically sort of as a summer person.
Mhm.
And she can tell you stories. I mean, she's really got the knowledge
Wow.
and the love of the island.
So how about, when you came to the talent show with Ace Rollerson, and it was very clear you and Ace have an abiding friendship.
We do. I mean, I remember right out there, he was, the Dillon's plumbing or electrical is in that shed right there. So you're always there turning on the water, turning on. I said, Ace, we gotta do something, or I gotta do something, and you're gonna do it with me. I want to be in the talent show. I've always wanted to be in the talent show. And he just looked at me. I said, here's how it's gonna be. There's gonna be a chair, a chaise longue, and a potted palm. I'm gonna be on the chaise longue. And that was the music. That was the music for the talent show. That's what spurred it.
That was so funny. Oh my God.
So, yeah, so this did not surprise him that you asked him to be in the,
I don't think it really did. He wouldn't have done it.
yeah. I mean, in other words, he knew you well enough
Yeah.
for how many years did he know you?
Well, he used to do all the work at my mother's house, but then when Mummy hired
Wallace Leach.
yeah,
Yeah.
who was a relative of Johnny Z,
Yeah, okay,
that Ace had to go.
okay.
So, but he knew all about the plumbing up there. He said, I'm not gonna tell anybody about the plumbing up there.
But you
No, we were friends.
stayed
We were really
connected,
friends.
yes.
Oh yeah, I was little when all
Yeah,
that happened. I
yeah.
remember any of that.
Yeah.
No. But then he came. He said we have to have a rehearsal. So he came and he came in this room, and he pulled out that black chair. I said, maybe you better not sit on that chair. Why don't you try this chair? And he said, oh yeah, that's right. So he pulled out this script, and I said, no, we're not going to have a script. I'm just
He
going
really took it seriously.
He did. He had it all written out.
Oh gosh.
And that sort of scared me. So anyway, the night came, and he was sick. He had the flu badly.
Oh dear.
So I asked if we could go first,
Yeah.
because he felt so
Yeah,
awful.
I remember that.
We had no script, and he was upset. And it was why I wanted to be a comedian. Wasn't that the subject?
Yes, it was why you had always wanted, why you had gone to see a psychiatrist because you had this weird thing. You'd always wanted to be in the Islesboro talent show.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah.
it got into comedy.
right. Very fast.
Very fast.
With no script. But at the very, very end,
Tell
he
me,
gave he said, okay, this is a test so you'll be a comedian. I don't remember it. You
was
have
a-
that film of it.
It was a joke.
Why is a horse like a pony?
Yes.
Why is a pony with a sore throat? Something like that, but I couldn't remember the punchline.
Exactly.
It was so funny.
Can you remember it now?
No, I sometimes try to remember
It's
what
so
it
funny,
was.
and I think Ace does know. He totally knows that joke. We need
Oh,
to
he
ask
does,
him.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Oh, it was
But
so
I
funny.
saw him last fall, and I said, hey, we gotta do it in the spring, but it's gonna be different this year. You are gonna be the patient, and I'm gonna be a psychiatrist. And he said, oh no. Oh no. What do we do about that?
Let it go to, will it
Can
answer?
will it go to voicemail?
Yeah, let it go to voicemail.
What if it's,
Wireless color.
Do you want me to put a pen?
Wireless color.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, Apple, it's Jane Warren.
Oh, it's Jane Warren.
It's Monday, and I was just checking to see how you're making out with your dishes and stuff.
See?
Give me a call back. My number 207-505-7685.
How lovely.
see,
See, we might
that's
have
what
to
I
cut- We might
mean.
have to cut this out.
No.
No.
No, in
No.
fact,
Yeah.
this is
But you
Ties
She's one of
into
the ones.
how the core group takes care of
Yes.
themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
each other.
love
That,
that.
nature or God sent that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that.
I
Well,
do.
it's also love,
Well, we get along very, very
caring,
well.
yeah.
I wanted to touch base a little bit on your mom. I know she had a renowned design business and had clients all over the world. Did she conduct business on Islesboro? Did she do any of the homes on
Oh, yeah,
Islesboro
she did a
design?
lot, she did a lot of them. And as a matter of fact, at the rummage sale this year, there were curtains, 3 stacks of curtains in really good condition that were
Wow.
for sale.
Wow.
And, no, she did a lot of houses.
So she did work on Islesboro
a lot,
quite often?
a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
With KK, did she help KK with her house?
Nobody helped KK with her house.
Oh,
KK, KK, my mother thought, had such a real eye for everything.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, no, nobody helped KK.
Oh, so
KK,
in other words, she
KK was
respected
really, yes,
her eye.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting, but a very different eye. How would you say your mom's sort of design sense differed?
Well, when KK, she bought that we call it the orchard house.
Yeah.
Someone bought it in between, but, and KK plastered the walls with wallpaper, the walls and the sofa, everything was the same material. My mother would never have done that.
Right.
But KK was, what I really loved about, she had real whimsy in the way she did things. I mean, she'd buy really crummy things from my shop, or, not expensive things, and mix them in with really good antiques. And my mother was the same way. It works. To have whimsy, to me, is very,
Important.
very, very important.
Yeah, well, your shop.
Well,
It
I like-
represents
I-
that.
Yeah, I love.
Do you feel
whimsy.
your mom had whimsy?
Yes, she did. She did mix up goofy things
Yeah.
in the house. There were always, and there were, the rag rugs. She started the rag rugs coming back, and she,
So she loved the traditional folk, not folk, but stuff that people made.
Right.
She really
Right.
loved that.
Yeah, that her rag rug lady. Her name was Helen Gushy, and she lived some on the mainland. I can't remember.
Mm.
Maybe Gardner. Can't remember where. And she made rag rugs for Caroline Kennedy's room in the White House. And Helen Gushy, when I started, I had a shop in Boston, and I wanted to get Helen. I said, "Can you make some, small rag rugs? Just use as placemats." And she said, "Yes." So she made me. So I sold them in Boston, and then I would always call and ask her, "How many do you think you could send me?" She said, "Well, depends on the size of the box I have." That was a totally wonderful thing.
Did you have involvement with your mother's business? Did you
No,
help her on things? Or
definitely
you
not.
kept
Definitely,
line of
definitely
separation?
separate. She didn't want. I mean, even my father. No, it was her business.
Mhm.
No, and it took up a lot of her time. A
But you
lot.
must have picked up some of her
I can't do anything.
skill and
No.
your
No, I tried-
savvy and awareness of design and items.
No, I tried to pick out material for someplace with my daughter Susan, who's now head of the company,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we couldn't do it. We could not pick out wallpaper. It was a disaster. We had to call the granddaughter in. Eliza.
So Eliza, though, has
Eliza's got
a natural,
chutzpah, whatever the word is.
yeah, and
She-
an eye.
Yeah, and she has an eye, and she's worked for decorators, so she is
Yeah.
really getting that company going,
It's fabulous. And the Hadley part has gone away.
going away.
Right. So
Yeah, because when Mommy died, Albert tried to keep it going, and it didn't.
interesting.
I don't know if it's because she wasn't there, but it went. But so many people who worked for that, my mother's firm are really famous people, like Bunny Williams worked for Mommy, and all these.
When did you open your shop on Osborne? You mentioned your shop in Boston. Did you have them in simultaneously?
I had
Or-
them. I started in '90. At 1 year, I brought the shop up from Boston and put it in the little red house.
Oh,
And my partner came up, Maria Church, and she came up for the summer. That didn't work out so well. So I stopped doing the shop in Boston and opened the one here in a little building behind the red house in 1991. And then, I can't remember, maybe it was my mother died. I had to find another place. So
In '94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Oldham suggested.
and is that when they paved the road, which is why you never had water?
They must have paid, I don't know.
Isn't that funny? That's just
Yeah,
wild.
because she died, I don't know when Mrs. Hale died. but anyway,
Yeah,
after she died, they must have, maybe they repaved it or
Yeah.
something.
yeah. And has that shop changed over time in the sense of,
My shop?
yes?
No.
No, it's, you had a vision and you've been doing it ever since.
Right.
Yeah, and how would you say how would you describe it?
The shop? Well, again, whimsy.
Yeah,
When I had the shop in Boston, there were 4 of us, 4 partners, which I do not suggest to anybody to do. But one of my partners was really, really good at buying things at the gift show. We go to the gift show at the
Yeah.
Javits. And she would buy things that she knew customers would like. I only bought things for the shop that I liked. And the things that she bought were the things that sold the best. So I don't think I have an eye for, I just love that shop. I just do what I want to do.
well now
I
that
don't
you-
really, I don't make
Well,
any money.
you've earned the right to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I don't make any money, I have to
You
say.
ought to enjoy what you do.
You do.
Yeah.
Or don't do it.
Yeah.
no.
What's your next act of the play? Do you have anything more that you want to do?
I want to learn how to be a carpenter. I want to make things out of wood,
Uh-huh.
like exotic bird houses. Talked to Andrew about it and Jesse, but I don't know how to put a birdhouse together. But if someone would put the birdhouse, the structure together,
Yeah.
I've got so many pieces of wood that I would attach to this birdhouse.
Nice.
No bird would ever go in it, but I want to make a birdhouse with.
We have to find you a woodworker on the island you can
Who has a sense of
partner
humor.
with.
well, you know Isabel Alexander.
Oh, did she?
She, and I don't know who she worked with, you know those little free libraries? that
Oh,
are
she
now-
made those?
Well, she and maybe 1 or 2 others did.
Really?
So that's someone you might talk
Yeah.
to. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking a regular bird box that you could then attach things to.
Yeah, yes, and then birdhouses are, I've got so many birdhouses from Andrew, like maybe I could incorporate them into
Mhm.
a condo or something.
A neighborhood.
A neighborhood.
Yeah, now who's Andrew?
Bird name.
Andrew Coombs,
Oh, Andrew Coombs.
Yes.
I wanted
Yes,
to make
Andrew
sure I
Coombs.
knew what
Oh,
you
yeah.
were,
Yeah.
yeah.
very talented man,
Yeah.
Huh,
very talented.
wow,
Man.
in
And he's so
woodwork?
nice to me, he brings me things that, like that duck out there, and that wagon they now have outside the farmer's market.
Yes.
Andrew gave that to me,
Wow.
and it didn't kind of work because I didn't know where to put it on the lawn and at the shop. So I gave it to them.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Maybe we'll wrap up. If there's any other thoughts or memories that you have that pop to mind of Islesboro, or other than your obvious fondness for being here and all that you've...
No, that's it in a nutshell. I love everything about Dark Harbor. People, birds, dogs,
Yeah.
insects.
Even mosquitoes.
They haven't been bad this year.
Yeah,
No.
good.
But I hear they're trying to breed them now so they don't bite. Did you hear that?
I've heard that mentioned. and
Really?
I wish them well in doing
Really?
that.
Yeah, like
How
a
do you
little-
do that?
And you put a little control collar around each neck, and each time they try,
You
you
get
pull.
zapped.
Oh my gosh,
Well, Apple, thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing
It's
your
been
time
fun.
and your memories with us.
very
It's been fun.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.